The second stint of Coach Otto Addo, as is the case with many coaches who have returned for a second stint at Club or country, is not going according to plan. It started on a good note with 2 wins out of 2 from World Cup qualifiers. But since then, 4 qualifying games, Ghana have failed to win one. They've lost two and drawn two, sits with just 2 points, and could possibly, more or less now, lose a position in the African Cup of Nations 2025 in Morocco. That's the reality we face now. Now, when Otto Addo was hired as the head coach of the Ghana Black Stars, obviously he was giving some performance measures or clauses in his contract that would determine or would look at what could be defined as a success on paper. According to reports making the rounds, he has or he is going to miss out on one of those things. And that has led to a drastic action being taken by the FA. We'll discuss that today. We'll also talk about David Oduro. If you remember, David Oduro signed for Barcelona B and was with them. Trained with the first team with Hansi Flick and the Barcelona first team. Now, it's been a while we heard from them, but reports are that they needed to work on a work permit. It has been done, and he is back in Barcelona. We'll talk more about that. And Kudus Mohammed's coach talks about the fact that he had a chat with him. There were news making the rounds that he said it was related to his national team. I listened to that press conference and I heard something else. We'll talk about that today. Don't forget to subscribe and click on that notification bell. We'll jump right into it. And Otto Addo is said to have new members added to his technical team. Now, this is according to Muftau Nabila. And he says that looking at the situation Ghana finds itself in right now and looking at how things are going right now, Otto Addo and the Ghana Black Stars will miss out on the African Cup of Nations for the first time since 2004. And it will be a very, very dire situation. The FA have overseen consecutive AFCONs where we've not won a single match. The last win at an AFCON competition for our AFCON game for Ghana came back in 2019. Kwesi Appiah was in charge at the time in an African Cup of Nations game. I think we played Benin or Guinea-Bissau, one of them, before we went into the round of 16 and lost. Yeah, so I think that was one of our last wins in the African Cup of Nations. Since then, we've been to Cameroon 2021 with Milovan Rajabak. Unfortunately, that did not go according to plan. We didn't win a single game there. We went into the latest AFCON, another group stage exit, which under bizarre circumstances versus Mozambique. We didn't win a single group game there. So we've gone two AFCONs without a single win. And then now we've gone into this qualifying phase of an African Cup of Nations without a single win. So it's looking like one of the performance measures that Otto Addo was giving when he came in the second time, he's not fulfilling it. And according to Muftau, because of that, there'll be a technical team added to the Ghana Black Stars current technical team. They will oversee and work with Coach Otto Addo, and then they'll see how best they can work together to get Ghana to go into the World Cup 2026. It looks like that is the next focus now, as the FA are setting their sights on moving forward from the unfortunate embarrassment of the African Cup of Nations qualifiers and accepting the fate that we will not qualify. And more likely than not, Sudan are more likely to get a draw in 2 games versus Niger and Angola than we are to win our 2 games and them to lose their 2 games. So if you look at the probability based on performances in the past, that's right way to think. But it's football, and some would say anything can happen, but don't hold your breath on this one. Trust me on it. I think that is what the FA have come to, and the new technical team that will join could possibly take over if Otto Addo does not meet the target of a World Cup qualification. So that is the latest news making the rounds. And it's quite interesting how things are going. The next qualifying phase will finish in November. Ghana will take on, first of all, Angola away, who have won all their games, and then we come to Ghana here and play with Niger. Those games look like they'll be dead rubbers by the time we kick off in the last game, but let's see how that one too goes. David Oduro is on his way out of the country, and he is going to more or less sort out his work permit. He came back down to Ghana to sort out his work permit for Barcelona, which is the reason why probably you've not seen us reporting that he has made his first appearance or anything. He came down into the country and got his paperwork done and dusted. He's off to Barcelona now in time for the Classico, probably. We'll see about that. But he's off to Barcelona now, and we wish him all the very best. David Oduro and Abdulaziz Issa. Abdulaziz Issa, who has been nominated for CAF Awards into club competitions, he lit up the stage for Dreams FC, and he has been rightly nominated. David Oduro was with Accra Lions, a left back. So he is currently, as you see in your picture here, off to Barcelona for that one. There he has sorted his work permit issues, and hopefully we can see him in action pretty soon. Final story has to do with Kudus MOHAMMED and his coach Julian Lopetegui. In their pre-match press conference, he was asked about Kudus MOHAMMED. He was asked whether how it will affect them, whether there's a replacement. He was asked a plethora of questions, but the story I saw online suggested that he linked Kudus's behavior to his national team frustration. And I read the story on the Mail Sport. Daily Mail are not the best of sources to be using if you're a journalist or you are someone like me who likes to verify facts before putting information out there and to ensure my credibility is intact. So Daily Mail, that is what they put out there. I went to watch the full press conference. He talked about Kudus MOHAMMED. He talked about the fact that he spoke with him. He talked about the fact that being frustrated, almost getting a second goal and all that probably got to him. He never mentioned the national team. So I was wondering where this quote came from. So he talked about the replacement for Kudus MOHAMMED. He said it won't happen again. Probably Kudus got frustrated because things were not going their way, and he was close to scoring 2 goals. That is why that happened. I wish I could put the full video out here for you guys to watch, but it's quite long and lengthy. Trust me on this. If he said that, I would have put snippets there for you to listen for yourself. But he did not say anything connecting it to the national team performance and all that. It is just false clickbaity stuff from a Mail Sports once again. Take any news you get from there with a grain of salt. But if anyone has seen that specific video of the coach linking Kudus' frustration and behavior to the national team performance, I'll be glad to have a look at that. But from my investigations, he did not say that. A replacement will be had for Kudus, who will be facing Manchester United, West Ham. Without him, a replacement will be hard for him. We'll see how that one goes. He says Kudus has been spoken to. He will not repeat such again. It's not like him, obviously, and he hopes that this doesn't repeat itself. That is all he said relating to Kudus MOHAMMED, because it was one of the first things most of the journalists there asked him. And that is how I end today, talking to you about the Ghanaian David Oduro sorted out his work permit issues, off to Barcelona in time for the El Clasico. Kudus MOHAMMED's coach did not link his frustration and behavior to the national team woes, as was being reported by the Mail Sport, Daily Mail, whatever you choose to call them. Also, at the beginning there, we spoke about Otto Addo and a possible replacement for him. New members will be added to his technical team. We'll see how that one goes. I'll see you guys in the next one. Enjoy the rest of your day.